What if European countries were divided by language? Hashtag about the world. A continent surrounded by oceans and barriers from all of its sides, and located entirely in the northern hemisphere and eastern hemisphere, Europe is the second smallest continent in the world. It shares the continental landmass of Afro-Eurasia with Asia and Africa. The Arctic Ocean borders it to the north, the Atlantic Ocean to the west, the Mediterranean Sea to the south, and Asia to the east. It has a population density of 72.9 per square kilometer and has a diverse ethnicity, religions, and culture. When we talk about a continent so big, with such a huge population, we seriously should not miss the types of different languages it may have, which may create a division among the continent's people. In today's video, we will be questioning and getting answers about what European countries were divided by language. But before we begin, hello and welcome back to our channel. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And that being said, let's begin. But before we go through the main context of our video, it will be best if we can get an overview of the current situation of Europe. So let us begin. In the beginning, we know about the different countries and ethnicity Europe comprises. Different countries and ethnicity along with their languages. To start with the geography of the continent, which will also consist of its social and ethical skills. It is better if you use a map or just Google it and research about it. It will help you better understand what we will be talking about. There are a total of 44 countries in Europe today, so let's pay attention to the geographical area they belong to and the language the people of these countries speak. We'll start from the area of Eastern Europe, where people only use the language Russian and no other secondary languages. Ukraine, where people only speak Ukrainian. Poland, where Polish is used most commonly, Romania, where Romanian is spoken, but Hungarian and German are also used as secondary languages. The Czech Republic, where Czech or Čeština is spoken, Hungary, where Hungarian is spoken and German and Romanian are used as secondary languages. Belarus, where Belarusian and Russian are primarily used as languages. Bulgaria, where Bulgarian is the primary language and Turkish is the secondary language. Slovakia, where the locals speak in Slovak, and Hungarian, as well as Moldova, where Moldovan, which bears its similarity with Romanian, is used as a primary language. Russian and Gagauz as secondary are present. Let us now look at Northern Europe, where the United Kingdom, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, Norway, Ireland, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, and Iceland are present. The common languages between some of these countries are Finnish, English, German, Russian, and a few more, with some distinctive languages in the rest of the countries like Norwegian, Irish, Estonian, Icelandic, and many more. We have Germany, France, Netherlands, Belgium, Austria, Switzerland, Luxembourg, and Monaco moving on to Western Europe. The common languages spoken by some groups of people are German, Dutch, Hungarian, Italian, and French. In contrast, the rest of the people mostly have their own distinct languages like Frisian, Slovene, Croatian, Romansh, Luxembourgish, and Monegasque. Finally, looking at Southern Europe, where we can locate countries like Italy, Spain, Greece, Portugal, Serbia, Croatia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Albania, North Macedonia, Slovenia, Montenegro, Malta, Andorra, San Marino, and Holy See, where again looking at the common languages we have German, French, Italian, Portuguese, Croatian, Turkish, Albanian, and Dutch, which are used as primary languages in a few countries, but as secondary languages in other countries, which have their primary languages like Spanish, Greek, Serbian, Macedonian, Slovenian, Maltese, and a few more. There are even some dependencies or other territories when Europe is considered, like the Gibraltar, which is a dependency of the United Kingdom. Thus, the sole official language spoken here is English, but the Gibraltarian accent may be present over the locals and the territory. The Isle of Man is also a territory in Europe that depends on the United Kingdoms and uses English as their main language. However, the historical language of the island, Manx, is still maintained to the maximum, and you can even hear that accent in their English. Channel Island is a dependency of the UK as well, and English is officially spoken, but the local language mentioned here is French. Finally, we have the Faroe Islands, which depend on Denmark and speak Faroese, their local and ethnic language, and Danish as the official language. So what if languages divided Europe? After knowing about the basic languages common in Europe and how such languages can become a cause for introducing separation and creating division among the countries in Europe, does it ever strike you, like, how did it all begin? How did the whole process of standardization happen? Well, do not fret, since we have come to your rescue. Let us give you a brief introduction of the history of the European language. Early Europe was defined using two elements when language was considered, including the two earliest groups of people. In those days, there were no dictionaries and only glossaries were made. But from the late 15th century, a new era began, and a certain change in lexicography was noticed. As time passed and lexicography evolved, nation-states, as being called, then started appointing particular languages and dialects as their official dialects, which somehow created a whole revolution to introduce the national language as well. Many academies that handled the language of an area were created and organized, like the 1635 Académie Française in Paris, 1582 Accademia della Crusca in Florence, 1713 Real Academia Española in Madrid, and many more. As more time passed, people started understanding the concept and importance of language and even started using it for social benefits. Many people started using it for their benefit, and many started dividing classes and groups based on language. Many even used the languages to identify their respective households, religion, and ethnic castes. It was during this time that many languages started getting standardized as well, like Italian, which got standardized based on Question de la Lingua, French based on Parisian, German based on the dialects used in Meissen in Middle Germany, Saxony, and a few other places, English based on the London dialect, and many more. During this period, countries from other continents also began to standardize their languages. There was a time when the violence started occurring because of linguistic differences. Those groups of people in the majority attacked and spread violence towards the minority group. There were even disputes between the two majority groups, and many more hostilities and wars started happening. As a result, a few European treaties were signed, like the European Charter for Regional or Minority Languages in 1992, which maintained peace by binding 24 nations including France, Italy, Iceland, and a few more together. How can languages divide Europe? Countries worldwide are dividing due to socio-economic levels, cultural assets, ethnicity, religions, and many more. But wait, we might be forgetting about one feature that also plays a very important role in dividing a country. Well, of course, language. Languages play a very important social role in a country's well-being and its people. Suppose you are new to a place and your cultural differences are already creating some kind of issues for you to settle in that very place. If you at least are aware of the local language of that country or place, you can at least comfortably let your ideas know to the people there. This creates comfort to both parties, and if someone does not know the local or common language there are possibilities of restriction of social interaction among people. Sometimes such cases happen even in the same country, so we can expect the same scenario when Europe is considered. Like when someone from Finland visits North Macedonia and isn't aware of the language Macedonian and will not be able to talk with the locals there freely. The people will just have a misconception that the person is unfriendly, bratty. This can create issues within people, and more problems will arise. This is just one of the ways how languages are a very important cause for introducing division in Europe. Unfortunately, diversity is just a characteristic of the world. No two people are the same. If you consider identical twins, they don't have the same DNA fingerprint. So how can you expect the people in a continent to remain the same always? It is impossible. Everyone has different cultures, ethnicity, religion, languages, preferences, etc. Still, we must learn how to accept such changes to lead a better and more comfortable life on this planet. So that was all for today, guys. Hope you all enjoyed our video. Do not forget to share your views in the comment section, and we will see you in the next one.